There is a visceral connection to the land where I found the plantation, and I can go out and I can walk on that land. That means a lot to me. But I can look out over a cotton field and I can see my ancestors bent over, picking this cotton in the hot sun, walking in someone else's footsteps, walking in footsteps that belong to you, that belong to me.
Just when you got to that black prairie land, you could smell it. It was just different. And it was nice to know that you were back at home then.
My ancestors came from here and fled. For me to come back and reclaim memories, experiences, relationships, I think that that is going to help with healing from the historical harm of slavery.
You tell me your sorrow, but I don't wanna pay. Don't tell me that tomorrow is just another day.
Horrible family history that happened here in Mississippi 150 years ago. So she was very cautious when she was coming down here to learn more about her own family history and to do the research here.
It affected people who were enslaved in one way. It affected the people who were the enslavers in another way. These were incredibly abusive relationships because you're doing something that is so antithetical to human values. That damages your spirit, it damages your soul.
You know, our community's changed a lot over time. We all know each other, we know each other's families. We are just a nice, tight community and take care of each other.
I came to write a book about what I found here.
It's almost like a movie script. It needs to be a movie, in fact.
My 2 times great-grandmother, her name is Betty Wharf Gavin. She was taken from her mother at the age of 9. She had her first child when she was 17. The father was the nephew of the man who owned her. So Robert Louis Gavin was the father of her child. And then she proceeded to have 16 more children for a total of 17 with that same man.
She's become a valuable part of our community.
This is the Noxubee County Courthouse deed room. And it may not look like it, but this is a treasure trove of material. And no matter what, every time I come, I find something that is astonishing. When you're doing African American genealogical research, one of the large problems is getting to 1870 and not finding any records prior to that because we were not documented as human beings, but rather as property. So, in this room, you will find books that record transactions where land has been transacted and maybe slaves were thrown in as part of the bargain. What is great about this courthouse is that the county was established in 1833 and the records go back to then. So it is like an uninterrupted stream of material.
I used to spend a lot of time here when I was a teenager doing genealogical research.
Because of the Gavin wills and estate inventories, I have been able to track all of the people that they own more than 25-year period. He bequeathed more than 100 people to his 8 sons, and I can track them for 25 years. What happened to those people? And the estate settlements have actually given me their names.
It's just extraordinary to me that Sharon's been able to piece together all of these records to form her family history.
This is a big one for me. This is giant. Slaves are usually listed after the furniture and the household implements and the domestic animals. But when you find it, there have been days when the clerk comes running, it's like, are you okay? So I'm like, oh, hallelujah, oh, I got it. And remember I said how important it is to say their names, to honor them. Phoebe, Seaborn. It is a personal ritual because these are people who didn't have a voice. William, David, they can't speak for themselves. Catherine, Margaret, so they couldn't say their own names. They couldn't say their own lives. They couldn't share their stories. So that's my way of being able to encapsulate their humanity and give them a voice.